What's up, people? It is Mr. Clocust here. We're going to be doing another Gears 5 Operation 6 Drop 2 PvP update this time. And don't let that get confusing because. Okay, let's get right into the video.
Hello everyone and welcome to a very special look at PvP for Operation 6 Drop 2. I am TC Shawnee, being joined alongside me is Jonathan Taylor. So, Jote,
Hello,
first of all, one,
Jonathan.
I hope you're doing well. And two, what can we look to expect during this special little insight here?
Hey, Sean. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Hope you are too. So today we're going to be taking a look at Execution 2.0, and it's going to be on a new map. So what is Execution 2.0, and what is this new map, you ask? I imagine that's going to be your next question. So the map is Tomb. You'll get a good look at it from the gameplay footage we're having that's coming up right now. It has a very kind of Gears 1 vibe to the aesthetic, which is great. It takes place in like kind of memorial graveyard ground. It's sort of the area where a lot of the COG soldiers, think like Arlington National Cemetery style,
Wow.
are buried. And so there's some neat little bits and pieces of lore throughout the map that people I think will really enjoy. And yeah, and just the size and the style of the map just has a really kind of Gears 1 vibe to it. So has us really
You said
excited
that.
to bring it out. And then you're going to see Execution 2.0. So what is that? What makes it different? So the original
Guessing
Execution,
it's
we
Execution.
had a lot of issues with stalemates, especially in matchmaking. Matches would go on for a very long period of time, and then you'd have eventually one or two players left that didn't want to lose the round, so they would avoid combat, hide, try to draw it out, and ideally like win via that. And we
True.
found that to be a problem for people being able to stick around and enjoy the matches, and especially like any kind of quick play format that it may
Here's
be
the
in.
issue
People
here.
didn't want to stick around for that; they'd leave.
People in Execution, if they weren't good at the game mode, they wouldn't play the game mode. So the issue that I'm going to be seeing is that it's already 4v4. Unless this map is small, which it looks kind of large. Looks kind of like kind of medium to large. I don't really know, so I'm gonna let him dive deep into it. But if you're not good at the game mode, you're not gonna play the game mode. So
Because they were dead and waiting for somebody else to die 3 or 4 minutes later, and it happened in ranked as well. So to address that and kind of bring the gameplay forward, and bring back the single life
wow,
elimination style of execution, but get rid of those sort of problems, we brought in an objective that now pops after 2 minutes.
wow. Somebody
So once
really
you've
doesn't
played
know how
two
to use
minutes
a
of
long shot.
execution, and if neither team has actually wiped out the other, a ring now spawns along the center line of the map. You'll know where that's at. It'll give you an indicator for it. And now, if no one has won by that time, the team that captures that ring will win. If for some,
So,
oh sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, so you kind of mentioned it right there. So just to kick off, you mentioned 2 minutes. Will the scoreboard show the timer remaining so a team can check, or will they have to try and figure it out themselves?
Toggle on your timer to always be there, but it also should show up, I believe, when there's 30 seconds left before the ring appears. So you'll see a little notification in the timer pop up, and you'll
So
see
what's
the
the
ring
point of the
notification
ring then?
actually at the very beginning of the round, and you can check TACCOM for it as well. So you'll know where that fight's going to end up being. Even with that, there can be cases where, because of the power weapons involved and people that don't want to push a fight, the ring might still not solve that. So what we've also done is, after 30 seconds after the ring has appeared, if neither team has captured the ring or won via the normal rules of killing everyone, the team with the most players alive wins. So that puts an onus on a team to push forward and try to like break open a play, rather than hiding and avoiding people for a few minutes in order to secure the win. And so we feel like this is going to really change up some of the problems we saw in execution when it came to matchmaking in both quick play and ranked competitive sort of play.
Awesome. So before we dive into some more about Execution 2.0, was there a consideration about not showing where the ring is going to go, or was that always the intention, is to show where the ring's going at the start of the round?
We want people to know what the battle is going to look like and be able to plan around it. And moving the ring and not making it completely random, having the order that it moves between center line locations in, was key for people to be able to understand, learn, and then be able to then use that information to how they're going to approach that battle. So we didn't feel like that was information we wanted to hide or have just pop up at the very end, but instead be able to go into the battle knowing where that
Did
fight
he
was
just pick
going
up
to
the
end.
Moltres instead of the nades?
Awesome. So yeah, we got the same classic style as we can see. You know, the players remain top of the screen. We have the head icons top left. So it goes without saying. As this is a versus event, of course, with Control, it was added to custom on the release of Drop One. Is this going to be the same for Execution 2.0?
So it'll be the event for the first 2 weeks of Operation 6, and then we're going to be looking at where else we want to put it. If it shows back up in Quick Play in the future, if it comes back out as a ranked mode, we want to kind of gauge interest in it and see.
What the hell is the point in making a game mode if you keep it in the game for 2 weeks? Like, test the game for a while before you try to put it into a game so that you have, like, they're pushing it out for 2 weeks so that people can either bitch about it or love it. So, I mean, just test it. Like you saw in Control, when you died, after you died, the ring was in the air. You think somebody didn't see that testing the game? Come on. Come on.
How these changes are impacting the gameplay and how people, like, if they appreciate them and they want to see
And
more
then they take the
execution.
game mode out.
So really, this is just an opportunity
After
for people
like
to play,
a
give
few weeks.
feedback, and as we get feedback, if it's positive, people want to see more execution, then we'll put it in more places. Yeah.
Will it be accessible via custom from release, or is it going to be out there?
Yeah, day one, it should have execution should be updated to use the 2.0 settings in custom. That's right.
So we can see now on our screen, obviously, timer counting down. There's actually the HUD indicator as well, which is awesome. Okay, so you can see the timer as well. Nice. Simple as that. Good stuff.
And you may notice in the video, you can change the timer in custom. So we may have lowered it to like 1 minute just to see it pop up a little more.
Don't beat me to it. I was literally about to ask you, what are the list of modifiers you can change for this game mode in custom?
Yeah, so you can toggle a lot of things doing with the objective. And so like this is a custom match. It says 120 because it's actually 2 minutes. So this one's using default settings. But you could lower it to a minute. You could bump it up to more minutes if you want to before the objective appears. And then we have all the other kind of things.
It seems like a pretty damn long time.
So you can even turn off like default execution rules and use damage mitigation rules instead for DBNO. There's a few things like that are available to you if you want to use them.
Awesome. So with Control, we saw a dedicated medal group for the game mode itself. Is there going to be something similar for Execution 2.0?
Ones that are kind of the marquee ones at the beginning of our drops. So yeah, there'll be a medal event to complete, and I believe you will earn. I can't remember if it's a reward of coins or actual like skins, but
I believe it's 3,000 coins, if I remember correctly.
That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, it comes from saying when you commit this mode. Why now? From the design philosophy, why now? Why is now the time to do something like Execution 2.0 as an event?
Well, we want to continue to bring variety in our gameplay, and so single life modes. We had Gridiron, which worked well but didn't take off quite the way we wanted it to, and we've had just more requests for a version of Execution that fixed or addressed some of these problems for a long time. And it was something that we could do and address and have a large audience we think would enjoy this. So really, it is about trying to bring variety to our audience and give them things they want to play, and give them more ways to play.
Yeah, I doubt that. You guys really don't care about it.
Awesome. So
You've had all your
while
money.
the game continues here, and I think we're on board with Zach, who has kind of become a name for us when it comes to these recorded videos in PvP nowadays. But you got a cool little sniper headshot actually in round one, if I remember. Oh, that was good down. Nice. Anyway, I'm getting sucked into the game. Not only is there Execution 2.0, of course, in PvP for the Operation 6 Drop 2 updates, but there are other things that I'm assuming that are happening as well. Is there anything you want to elaborate in that regard?
Yeah, one of the big things we're doing is we brought out Control, like you mentioned earlier, as part of Operation 6 Drop 1 as an event. People really seem to like it. There were some issues with like ring locations and other things we wanted to try to address. And as part of this drop 2, we've made some adjustments to the ring height and ring locations in a lot of maps that we were already part of the playlists. But we were also able to go in and fix up maps that before weren't part of the matchmaking playlist because the rings in those maps weren't behaving properly based on the initial like King of the Hill ring location. So we now have the ability to nudge those rings and move them throughout the map. So now we've been able to bring in way more maps for Control. So as part of Operation 6 Drop 2, we're going to be bringing Control in to replace King of the Hill and Quick Play. And we'll be adding those maps that we've been able to to bring back in, which is most of the maps in the game. So now Control is playable on a lot more maps. And the rings that
What did he just say?
as part of Operation 6 Drop 2, we're going to be bringing Control in to replace King of the Hill and Quick Play, and we'll be adding.
So the only game mode that I play is being replaced by Control, which doesn't have bots on it. King of the Hill doesn't have bots on it either, but I wish it fucking did. I wish it was 5v5 with bots. They need to. There's a reason why you can still find lobbies in Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, Gears of War Judgment, Gears of War 4, because it's got bots in it. You can still play the fucking game online. You can't play this game online. Sad, man. Like, I went into a game the other day, and it was just me on the other team, and there was 2 other people on the other team for 2 games. Bring in bots. Make it 5v5 again. Make it fun again. Make it great again.
Those maps that we've been able to bring back in, which is most of the maps in the game. So now Control is playable on a lot more maps. And the rings that may have been problematic, like some of the rings and training grounds that were sticking through walls,
You think so?
and ones in Nexus that were doing something similar. We've adjusted those so those sort of like long areas we have to go around to try to find somebody hiding behind a large wall is no longer happening. The rings are now spots where you can pretty easily tell where the person's going to be. You might have to make some movement to get to them, but overall you're not having to go around the world to get somebody out of the ring. So yeah, we've been really happy to be able to play test all those, and it's made those maps that were already good that much more enjoyable. So it's been great.
Awesome. So,
Why are you
also,
looking the
to
other way?
everyone watching here, if you've not seen it already, by the point of this video being recorded, we would have put out a post detailing some news about more rewards for Operation 6's ranked mode. So, I'm okay to throw that over to you, Joe Tate, just kind of summarize the change we've made there when it comes to ranked.
Yeah, so we were looking at the ranked rewards and what was available to us, and we realized that in order to give folks a chance to unlock the entire set, we would like to provide more rewards for the season that is.
Wow, thanks.
Before it was 3 rewards. I believe it was the Boom Shot, the Hammer Burst, and the Retro Lancer. Now we're going up to 8 weapons. Don't ask me what all they are, because it's hard to remember that long of a list off the top of your head. But so it basically lets you finish off the set. So if you've been gathering weapons up to this point, there's been a few chances to get duplicates of things like the loadout set. But overall, like if you've been working your way, there's certain weapons you've never had a chance to get at all. And these are the 8 that are now there. So you can finish off a set.
That's another game that's fucked with PvE, is that the skill cards you can duplicate, but you can't fucking scrap them. So you're just earning all these cards for no reason.
You've already gone through and been playing ranked up to this point and been unlocking. So yeah, happy to do that, and excited for folks to be able to get a lot more
Sorry,
loot
but
at the
nobody
end of
gives
the
a shit
season for
about rank
Operations.
anymore.
Awesome. I kind of want to touch on a more general point, which is
I've got the
feedback,
master
if that's
skins.
okay. So when it comes to someone in your role,
I haven't
and when it
used
comes
them.
to feedback, when it comes to players, I just wanted to use this video as kind of an opportunity
They
to
look
kind of
like
talk
shit.
about kind of the stuff you look for to help you and help the team when it comes to feedback on modes. So when Execution 2.0 comes out, for example, and we will put out a feedback threads after the event is over to gather everyone's feedback. We just want to, I want to ask you, if that's okay, what's the kind of stuff you're looking for that will help you in a team when it comes to feedback on modes like this?
Yeah, so we look at the initial like reaction people have as part of it, but we also try to go deeper than that on the nice headshot. So one thing I would say is we're always looking for feedback that comes from folks that have put a good amount of time into it and have played and kind of got a feel for what is there. So the biggest thing is understanding like what exactly the issue is they're trying to bring up or talk about or address, and make sure they have enough experience in that area to like articulate it. And we're looking at a lot of different sources. We look at the forums, we look at Twitter, we look at Reddit. So it's kind of coming in from all over. Yeah, that's the big thing for me, is just being able to look at and understand, okay, this is what the experience the player had. They've been playing for a little while. this is a rough patch for this particular person. Oftentimes it comes with like suggestions of ways to fix things. We do read those and look at those, but overall
You
we're
see how
trying to drill
nobody's
down to what
bouncing, by the way?
core of the problem may be.
Just walking
Rather
around.
than look at it and say, okay, we're
A
going to
bunch of
implement
bots.
X, Y, or Z thing to fix this. So yeah,
So
that's the big.
That's fine. I just noticed in the kill feed when Zach died there, his teammate did assisted damage to him. Just to clarify, friendly fire is not on for this public playlist, or is it?
It shouldn't be. It may be on for this playtest. You can turn it on in
Yeah,
custom.
I just want to double check. That's
Yeah.
all, because I just need more confusion if anything. Awesome. Okay, so I think is there anything else you want to go through, or do we think that's a good enough little look into PvP for Drop 2?
I think that's the big ticket items for Operation 6 Drop 2. Excited to talk about the next upcoming stuff, but yeah.
Oh, that'll be in due time.
Yeah.
As we get through these drops, and we'll get you back for more PvP stuff. There's always exciting things coming up for sure.
Oh yeah, very
We've
exciting.
got patch note stuff in relation to PvP, but we'll leave that for the patch notes. We can kind of let that do the job of telling the story. But apart from that, I think that will do it. So hopefully you've enjoyed a first look at Tombs, excuse me, which will release on April the 13th for Operation 6 Drop 2. Alongside this mode we're looking at, which is Execution 2.0. It will run for 2 weeks. You have a medal group to complete, and it will get you, I believe, 3,000 coins. If I'm wrong, do blame me. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And as a final reminder, it can be played in custom as well. So if you want to tweak some of the settings and play around with it, please do. And I said that was a final reminder, but finally, please give us your feedback, because we're always looking for feedback on stuff like this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So
The right
I kind of want to drag it out because it's the
That's what I'm
final
trying to
round.
say.
So I'm sorry, Jote. I'm dragging this out because we're going to a final round, because why not? So let's just look at where the ring is. Okay, Memorial. Oh, actually, I think you mentioned this, but of course the rings, are they tailor made for each map as well, or are they the same spots?
Yeah, so we can control the ring location and the ring order. So we've done that in a way that we try to make sure it stays consistent and stays in an order you can memorize, is the big piece of that. But since you're reminded at the beginning of each round, it's usually pretty clear either way. But yeah, and they're all in the center line, so there's not rings that you're going to find that are going to advantage one team over the other. It's always going to be in the middle of the map, so that's an easy way to remember as well.
And the weapon spawns don't change at all. Is that correct? Always the same.
The weapon spawns are special for execution, so we've done
Oh,
some
okay.
changes for that, and you'll see that in the playlist. And it should be set up that way. You can do obviously weapon swaps in custom still, but we try to bring those closer to what we believe the best swaps would be for execution. So those are custom.
So we got 4-4, and it's 2 versus 2. Oh, this is the stuff dreams are made of right here. If you're a neutral, I only know Zach. I think Michael's in this game. Are you in this game, Jote?
I think so. It's hard to remember which one we recorded. I may have missed this day. Like a dev account, so it's hard to keep track.
Yeah,
between machines.
unique gamer tags and stuff. Well, we got 2v2. But I mean, just from watching this, and I used to commentate on esports in Gears 3 and Gears Ultimate Edition, a little bit of judgment, but execution was of course in rotation back then, along with King of the Hill, and the stalemate was a big problem. No denying that. Beautiful down, Zach. Yeah, of course. No better way to kill off JP than that. Yeah, I just remember the stalemates, and just having something like this to kind of force the objective excites me a lot.
Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I'm not too excited about this. You can tell. Map looks good, but other than that, I just don't see a point in the ring. I mean, it didn't really do anything. Execution 2.0, you have to wait 2 minutes for the fucking thing to pop up. Everybody's dead within a minute. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. This has been boring, none the least. But it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.